Hey, everybody. I'm going to pray us in. So, dear Lord, just thank you for this day. Thank you for this beautiful Wednesday and for all of us getting together and being able to do your work for you. God, just bless us, help us to learn more about you every single day and help us to be a blessing to others. Help us to lead them and to always make sure that we're leading them with grace. Amen. Amen. Yes, ma'am.
Trying to figure out what you're talking about.
The one, hang on, guys.
Okay.
I just want to get on here and say I've missed the last couple of weeks because of different things that have come up, but I'm so happy to be back today and just like feel like we are together, even though it's all virtual. So I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say.
Okay, thanks for filling in. I was needing a certain thing, and anyway, if we don't get it today, it's okay because we're going to do it next week. So what I have today is we're going to talk about some of the strategies that the enemy puts on us to ruin our walk, our prayer life, just everything he can do to attack us. And so I asked Bailey if it was okay if I did it in a 2-part series because it's too long for one session. So I just broke it in half. But I just felt like it really spoke to me today as I was asking the Lord, like, what do you want me to share today? And I started going through some of my resources, like it just, as soon as I found it, I knew that, yeah, this is it. So, and I'm sure most of y'all are familiar with Priscilla is Shear or Shire. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I've heard it both ways. So, but it's one of her Bible studies I've done before, and it's on the armor of God. And so I just want to talk about some of the strategies that she shared that the enemy uses against us. And this can be applied both spiritually in our own lives and personally, as well as towards our business. So when I'm sharing this, think of it both ways, okay? So strategy number one is the enemy attacks us against our passion. He seeks to dim your whole desire for prayer, dull your interest in spiritual things, and downplay the potency of your most strategic weapons. So I feel like passion is not a place where you want to lose the battle in. We need that passion daily in our lives to function, to get up and go. And I know we've all been in a funk with our passion, but the thing is, we don't want to stay there because it will have a direct result in how we communicate daily with our families, even how we present ourselves daily and with our business. You lose your passion for your business, and then you're going to wake up and be like, well, I don't care if I post one today or not. I'm just not in the mood. And we just don't want to take that type of thought with our business, especially like, not feeling it today, so I'm just not going to, So, and that's just the enemy. The enemy wants to take that from us. He wants to dim your passion. He doesn't want you praying for your family. He doesn't want you praying for your work, and most of all, praying about what your purpose is. So, strategy number 2 is against your focus. He disguises himself and manipulates your perspective, so you end up focusing on the wrong culprit, directing your weapons at the wrong enemy. So let's think about that. Verse, and I should have started off with the scripture, but we'll do that in the end. But in the verse 14, Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. And a lot of times we thought that light was something good, and it turned out that, oh boy, I misjudged that, and a lot of times we'll focus on that wrong cause, the root cause, and we'll think it's a person, a coworker, or a loved one who's caused an offense against us. And a lot of times we'll put the focus on the wrong thing of the person when really it was the enemy who was blindsided. Number 3 is how the enemy works against our identity. He magnifies your insecurities, leading you to doubt what God says about you, to disregard what He's given you. And I think this one's really huge.
I feel like it hits home with a lot of people. So let's go over a few. And if you want to, let's get active in the chat. And I would like for you to share, where do you think the enemy has attacked you with your identity? You know, what little voice have you heard? So if you want to participate, please do, and Kara can fold those later. I can't see it while I'm talking. So here's a few I wrote down. Fear, not good enough, not smart enough, too plump. What is your to this, to that? You know, what is it with you? I'm too blah. Listening to the enemy on this will shift your focus. It's going to shift your passion, and it's going to stop you in your tracks, both spiritually and in your business. I'm reading one right now. I'm too introverted. You know, all those, I can't read the rest of them. Oh, no one cares what I have to say. Too sick, too unhealthy, too unqualified. We've all felt the same thing, guys. And what does that do? It cripples us. It causes us to stop. We stop moving forward. We start going backwards and taking side steps. You know, same thing when we apply that to reels. Well, I can't do reels because no one cares what I've got to say. Not educated enough. It's all malarkey, guys. I heard one of these people I follow. He spoke at Shutterfest in St. Louis, and he said, "Did you know that TikToker has gotten over 200,000 views because she bottles up her farts?" Yeah, she bottles up her farts and sells them, and she has made lots and lots and lots of money off of it, guys. And so he's just making that point. Stop worrying if you're to this, to that, to this. You know, go for it and just show up and do it. That's the main thing to it. So, but the enemy is something going
To try and strip you of your identity. So when this does happen, the best thing you can do is pray for revelation, pray for wisdom from the Lord, because you are chosen, you are called for a purpose, his purpose. So ask Holy Spirit to remind you who you are and what you can do to glorify him today. Number 4 is family. So we all know that he wants to disintegrate your family, dividing your home, rendering it chaotic, restless, and unfruitful. So the best tip for that, guys, is pray a hedge of protection over your family daily. We don't need any open doors in that area. And I'm just going to go on to the next one because we can go a long time on that. But pray for protection of your family. Armor up. And then number 5, this is the last one I've shared, and then I'll share the other 5 next week. He's going to attack you against your confidence. He constantly reminds you of your past mistakes and bad choices, hoping to convince you that you're under God's judgment rather than under the blood. How many times have you relived your past mistakes or choices? And if we let it, the enemy will literally torment us with it. I've been there before, things, you know, that's happened in our past. And I'm telling you what, you can be tormented with those thoughts, and it's a miserable thing. And one thing we have to remember is that God does not condemn. That is the enemy. God does not bring judgment. The enemy does. And remember that through salvation, through the blood of Jesus, he has given us power and authority over the accuser, our enemy. I had a prayer that I wanted to share with you.
Here, I gave it to you.
I did not write it. Sarah wrote it. Well, it's a long one. The one I have is really short. I don't want to take up too much time, and I can't read on my phone like that. I'm going to print it out. So I'm going to share it next week, guys. But it's a prayer that you can do daily. Thank you, Sarah. It's so small on my phone, I can't read it. I have to keep zooming in and out. But I've got one on a what do you call it? Ooh, stiff paper, bounded with not plastic. Anyway, whatever that word is. And I keep it in my car, and I just pull it out, and a lot of times I'll just read it. But I was reading it every day, and I feel like this is something we need to do. We need to read the armor of God prayer every day, guys. It's in Ephesians 6. 6, is it 6:12? Yes. Um, start reading that daily, and I think you're going to just see where the attacks from the enemy are getting lesser and lesser and lesser in your lives, because you're going to know how you to recognize it, and you're going to take authority over it and know that the enemy is the one causing that attack on your mind, your thoughts, your family. So next week I'll share the rest of them, and we'll do that prayer together. So that's all I've got.
In the chat, I saw somebody said that they feel like it's not God's plan for them. Maybe they're questioning that, and they're maybe feeling defeated. And I just want to say, I don't know what God's plan for you is and what he's whispered in your heart. Like, that's a relationship between you and him. But anytime that you are feeling that way, or anytime that you're questioning things, do not make a decision on a bad day. Do not quit when you're feeling defeated. Do not quit on a bad day. Whenever reevaluate it on your next good day, on the next day that you get a sign up, on the next day that you feel like your sights are taking off, reevaluate it then. And also take it to God and fast and pray over a decision before you ever make anything, because Satan whispered all those lies. I've shared this story a million times. I was sitting at my table in 2016, and he said, this is going to be used for me and my glory, God and his glory, not me. And then, years go by and you feel stuck and you feel defeated. And then you're like, well, did God really say that to me? Is this really my purpose? Is this really my plan? And instead of just taking it as if, you take that to God and you fast and you pray about it before you make a decision about it. So just want to throw that tidbit in there.
Sarah, if you know how to, maybe you could share that prayer in the chat and everyone could just download it. I don't know if you know how to do that or not, but otherwise we'll have it next week. But it's awesome. I just love it. She wrote it, and it's just perfect.
Oh, looking forward to it. Also, I told Crystal last week when she was over at my house, my sites have been taking off again. And I got blocked from messaging people because of my, because I was messaging too many people. And that's always a great feeling, because, even talk about it. But I told Crystal, she was here the other day, I was like, the one thing that I have done this week is I have prayed over my business every single day this week. And it's easy to kind of just get off, but I just asking God to open those doors again and bless him, praying in the spirit and things like that. He pays attention to that. So if you haven't prayed over your business, pray over your business.
Amen.
It's one of the biggest things that I've changed this month. But ebbs and flows are also normal. I'm not saying anything this is a roller coaster business, and we expect that roller coasters are fun for a lot of people. We expect the waves. So we'll just expect it with this too. But one of the things that I want to talk about today is, I feel like a lot of points that Kara hit is actually going to be some points that I'm going to talk about today, but is the long-term mentality of our business. We've talked about our team being Uncover Your Legacy. We are wanting to have that long-term mentality of what this is going to do for us, what this is going to do for our family. So I want you guys to write down, I will be a diamond unless. What is it that is going to cause you in your mind mentally to not be a diamond? You can just kind of think about it. You don't have to share it, but I don't want to get on a negative thought process. I'm just want to lead this into where we're going. I'll be a diamond unless. Senior James Dyson vacuums, the real popular, really great Dyson vacuums, had 5,126 failed attempts at making a vacuum before he was successful. Failed prototypes, over 5,000 of them. That is a lot. That is not quitting. That is not giving up. That is failing forward, continuing to get better. And now Dyson is like a household name. So many people have Dyson vacuums. Steven Spielberg, he did not make it into film school twice. Did not make him quit. I know a lot of times we get a door slammed in our face and we automatically think this is not for me. And I want you to think about, are you content with failure? Failure is, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. We fail forward, but it's not a good thing to be content with. It is okay to be discontent in our failure, right? I feel like whenever we're discontent in our failure, it can has one of two actions. You can either just kind of wallow in it and not move on, or you can choose to get better and to fail forward. I 100% have failed forward in my business. I have been really bad at my business, and I have failed and figured out what works and what doesn't work and got better and do the hard things and get uncomfortable and like being willing to be coachable and being willing to learn. So why is long-term mentality even important? One thing that it's going to help do, it's going to help prevent burnout. You're going to know that it's not something that has to come quick and easy, that this is something that is you're going to continue to build towards. I have been in this business for almost 10 years now. In April of 23, it'll be 10 years. And it took me 9 of those years to get to Diamond. It wasn't something that was quick and easy, but I always had the vision that I was going to get to Diamond. And in the seasons where I did not feel like Diamond was within reach, I focused on my next goal. My next goal is 1,000 points. My next goal is hitting to Emerald. Like, what is that next goal that I'm going to hit? That's where I would direct my focus if I felt like that was out of reach. But I still, in the back of my mind, just always believed that that's where I was heading. That was what was going to happen. And whenever we talk about becoming Diamond, becoming a jewel in this company, that is not something that is easy. I'm not telling you that you can get the products of your products paid for. I'm telling you that this is an opportunity that is going to change the complete trajectory of your family. That is what it has done. So emotional for our family. It has changed everything for my mom. It's changed everything for my dad, me, and my sisters. It has changed how we make decisions. It has changed how we raise our kids. It has changed how our mindset is and the poverty that we're not living in. It has broken chains. It has taken us out of bondage. So the enemy is going to come against that. Exactly like Kara said, he is going to try to stop you in your tracks over and over again, because he does not want you living in freedom. He wants you living in bondage. And this opportunity is a vehicle out of all of those things. So if you're going to have that long-term vision, understand what this can do for your family, what this can do for you, what this can do for other people. And it's going to help prevent that burnout by having that long-term vision. And then also develop a long-term work ethic. So athletes practice hours and hours and hours a week to play in a game that's like an hour long. Like, that's what they do. They have the work ethic to do that. And then in hopes of winning a championship. But we have to have a work ethic where we're willing to put that in over and over again, the time over and over again, to reach the goal that we're wanting to get to. And again, having that work ethic is going to come down to the vision that you have for your business and what's possible for it. So if we talk about grit is the passion and perseverance for long-term goals. And a couple things that you need for grit is you need to have a tremendously deep interest in what you do. So maybe you do not have a really big interest in weight loss, or maybe you don't have a really big interest in probiotics or something like that, but you do have an interest in helping other people get healthy. You do have an interest of helping other people see financial freedom. You, like, whatever that is, having an interest in what you're doing. Number 2 is capacity to practice, being willing to practice and get better at things. Nobody is good at things the first time. Very rarely are people good at things the first time they do it. It takes time. Having a sense of purpose in what you're doing. I feel like I'm so fulfilled with Plexus and the purpose that it's given me, both spiritually, spiritually and in relationships, what I get to do, getting to lead people, share that with other people, and also having a sense of hope that this will all be worth it in the end, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of what your season is, having the hope that it's going to be worth it. Integrity in your vision must be able to withstand the hard things. We have to have the mental toughness. We have to be prayed up. We have to be protected. And we have to be willing to get uncomfortable and to go through that. We can't be like swaying with the wind every single time something is leaning our way. And we talked about speaking positively over our business last week. And that's something that I just want to reconfirm today. What you're saying about your business matters. But some things you cannot control, but that's normal. We cannot control. But whenever you feel like you're having a bad day, or you feel like you're in a bad season, or whatever it may be, there are some things that you do have complete control over. And those are the things that we can focus on. So we can focus on the next right thing always, right? We can focus on the activity. We can focus on the things that we should be doing that move the needle forward in our business. You can control what you focus on. So you can choose to focus on abundance, or you can choose to focus on lack. You can choose to have a scarcity mindset. You can focus on the good things, or you can focus on the bad things. You can focus on the fact that you posted this morning and nobody commented, or you can focus on the fact that you have months and months and months of prospect in your messages, and that you have grown your network on Facebook by 100 people the last year that you can go back and reach out to. There is something positive that you can focus on in your business. You can control your attitude. You can decide if you are going to have a crappy attitude and make everybody else around you miserable, or you can control whether you're going to have a good attitude and make a positive impact on the people around you and the team that you lead. You can control your body language, how you carry yourself. You can control the effort that you are willing to put in. You can control your thoughts, and you can control your excitement. So this are some positive things that we can control and focus on moving forward. So whenever it comes into momentum in our business, it's an energy first. And we have to be willing to make decisions strategically, not emotionally. That's kind of one of the things that I was talking about, that I mentioned at the beginning, whenever they said that they are wondering if, this is God's purpose for them, or feeling defeated. It goes back to making those decisions on a good day. And then not always looking for the next opportunity, not always looking for the next shiny thing, because for one, she mentioned Satan dressing himself up as an angel in light. So he's going to make things look exciting. He's going to make things look presentable. I have lived this. I have went through this. I have had other things dangled in my face. Look what can be over here. But the fact of the matter is, things grow where you water it. And if you have hiccups, and if you have something that's preventing you from moving you forward here, those same things are going to follow you to the next thing. It comes with a skill level and a willingness to get better and to be better in whatever you're doing. So I mentioned not being easily swayed earlier, and it being a roller coaster, and it is normal to have an up and down in your business, and the ebbs and flows and the momentums and things like that. Amazon has ups and downs in their business. And one of the things Christina shared is that Amazon does not look at their sales in January and freak out because they did not have the same sales in December. Why would Amazon have crazy sales in December and not January? It's obvious why the sales are more higher in December versus January, but it's normal. They expect it to be high in this season and low in this season. And just knowing that, again, ebbs and flows are normal. So having long-term worth ethic means not wishing it was easy, not giving yourself an out, taking a step back, and whenever you decide to take a step back and look at your business, not deciding that I'm going to take a step back and not put in the activity. Because what happens is whenever it comes to momentum, we talk about this snowball, and it's going and it's moving, and eventually it's just going to start burling down the hill, and momentum happens. This is the excitement thing. And this is what happens whenever you guys see all of this excitement and all of these things happening. It's usually because people it's a compound effect of the snowball that's continuously rolling. But the same thing that can happen is it can go backwards. So if you are in a season in your business and you feel like you are stuck or whatever, and you choose to walk away from that because you're just going to you just don't feel like putting in the energy because you do not like what you're seeing, you don't like what your points are, you don't like whatever the outcome is, what's going to happen is you're going to have basically a backwards momentum. And then you're going to be under the snowball and you're going to be like digging yourself out. And that's not, sorry, the upgrade things pop it up, always distracts me. And that's not something that we want either. It's going to be easier to hold the snowball in place and continue to work our way forward than it would be to take a step back and to let it go backwards in the opposite direction. Does that make sense? Hope so. Mute somebody. It's also trusting that the reward is coming. So trusting that if you are showing up every single day, showing up for your business, putting in the daily activities, putting in consistent work effort, then your reward is going to come. You are going to make it to the top or whatever it is that your goal level is in this business. 95% of people that stay within the same company for at least 10 years that consistently do the work will make it to the top of the company. That is so promising. That's not saying that I have been in the business for 10 years and I did work 3 of the years, or I worked a month out of every single year whenever I got. That is consistently showing up and doing the work. And if it took me 10 years to make diamond money, which it did, guys, that's basically what I did. It was 9. It was very well worth putting in that effort consistently to get there. And the good thing about this is you're constantly making money and you're constantly helping other people and impacting and influencing people's lives along the way. But you've got to show up and you've got to do the work consistently. I heard the other day, which I thought was so good, so I'm going to share it. But the biggest superpower that you can have is staying consistent. Like that is a secret weapon. That is the superpower, staying consistent in your business. Having long-term realistic expectations, taking ownership instead of wishing that it would be easier, be willing to get better. And there's a spoiler alert here is whenever things start to get easier, it means that you have gotten better. When I first started working the business the way that we do through the sites and things like that, there was so much thought process in it that half the time I didn't want to answer because I was trying to figure out what to say to people, trying to figure out the best way to answer people. Like it was just mentally taxing. It was hard. And you had to make yourself like keep doing it, keep having the conversations, keep getting rejected, all the things. And now it's like I do not have to think about it when I'm having conversations with people. Like I pretty much know how people are going to respond and I know how to answer people back really easily based on what they share. I don't usually have to ask a lot of questions or anything like that. And that's because I've just gotten better at it. I've talked to more people. And so it's easier now than it was. And again, when we're talking about momentum and we're talking about waves going up and down, as I've been in this business, there have been multiple waves of momentum. So if we're not in a wave of momentum is going to be coming. But there are a couple things that are going to happen during those waves. Some of you will ride the wave because you are consistently putting in the effort, you're consistently doing the work, you're consistently doing the hard things, you're having the network, you're building it up. And some people will completely miss it because they work every once in a while. They let their feelings get in the way. They don't put in the effort consistently. Those are the people that get in on waves of momentum, is people that have been compounding and working and getting up there. And then they get to just ride it and points are going crazy and you're gaining like 500-600 points in a single month because of momentum waves. Bailey literally went from gold. She stayed at gold for, how long did you stay at gold, Bailey? A long time. She was at gold for a long time. She literally went from gold to ruby in 1 month, like double ranked, senior gold, ruby. Her husband ranked up, like, and it wasn't because Bailey wasn't doing anything. It was because Bailey was putting in the work. And then when a wave of momentum came, she was ready to ride that to ruby. And then we all know the story from there. She went from ruby to senior ruby to emerald. Like it's a wave of momentum that she was able to ride because of work that she was putting in consistently. So some of the things that we can do to continue to ride this wave is the activity. It's so simple. I feel like I share it all the time. We want to have the long-term mentality of what this is going to do, and we have to be focused on that. But if we're going to be focused on that, we have to be doing the daily activities every single day. So we need to be focusing on our win the day, and we need to be focusing on our buy, sell, trade site system hand in hand, doing both of the things. And if we need a recap on what win the day is, let me know and I will post it in the chat today. But doing those specific steps every single day and working alongside and doing the buy, sell, trade sites. Because if your buy, sell, trade sites, you don't feel like are picking up at this moment or this week or whatever they're doing, then you have this system to work alongside of it that can be moving you in the same direction. The only difference with this system, the win the day system over here, is something that tons of people do all across Plexus, and they're still signing up people. It's just not as quickly as this, but it's still moving the system forward. Does that make sense? I think we have 4 minutes left, and Kara had something else to share, so I'll be quiet.
Are you gonna be able to share that graphic too?
Let me grab it.
Okay.
You ready for it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this Sunday on the 20th at the First John Baptist Church in the kitchen or recreation area, we are going to do a sip and share tasting event. And it's going to be from 3 to 5. And this is going to be a great way to help build that momentum, like Kara's talking about, participating. We're trying to get in one more event to help you fulfill, hopefully to reach the goal of that extra cash this month. So if you know of anyone, neighbors, friends, acquaintances that you had that have even texted you and been like, I just don't know how it's going to taste. I may not like the taste of it. This is a perfect time to bring them in and let them try all of our products. Then we're also going to have the beverages put together where you can mix and match and form your own variety of your flavors that you like. I found one last week that I loved, and it was with the black cherry lime and the peach mango. Brand new flavor. I've never wanted to mess up my black cherry lime, and it was perfect. I loved it. So I encourage you, get busy, start inviting. And we just ask, if you do have anyone coming to the event, would you be willing to donate $10 to go towards all the products and supplies? And can they see me? We're going to have a gift with their purchase. So if one of your people sign up, this is filled up full of product. And then we may even add an extra coupon, but you'll be responsible for your own person's sign up and all that. So we would love to see you there. Bring as many people as you want. If you don't have people, come anyway, and let's let this be a learning experience, and let's just network and get some ideas.
And thanks for opening that up to all of us.
Yes, another tool. So everyone get busy and invite.
One thing that I forgot to circle this back around to is going back to I will be a diamond unless thinking about that statement again. Like, I feel like for me it was like I'm gonna be a diamond like unless I die. So but just not letting anything get in the way. I was supposed to go back to that at the end, but I forgot. So we're just wrapping that up now. Okay.
I like
Well,
that.
yes, Amy, I will.
Hey, Bible study.
Oh yeah, Bible study is the 28th, right?
Yes, and Beth is doing it. It's at 7:30.
Okay. And we still have our retreat coming up. That is in January, and we still have spots open for that as well. So if you want to join, just let me know. Okay.
Y'all didn't get the memo, but y'all should have wore yellow today.
It's true. Okay, guys, have a good day, and we will see y'all on Facebook.
Bye.